everyone, and welcome back to my channel. So I thought I'd actually film from my room today because the lighting is really nice here, and it's like really sunny outside. We've been going through a pretty rough winter in Ithaca, so it's nice to see the sun back out. It's good. Thanks so much for all of your questions that you guys have booked consultation sessions with me and actually spent some time getting to know me. That being said, I would really like it if you guys left some questions, whatever questions that you guys have, in the comments below, and I'll try to answer them as soon as I can. I normally answer pretty much every single question that I get, or every single email that I get as well. So if you want to send over an email as well, I can answer those too. A lot of you seem to be asking what the difference is between IB and consulting. So I just want to jump on here and sort of make a video about it and clarify what investment banking looks like versus what consulting looks like, and especially what the differences are when we're talking specifically to consulting recruiting at Cornell and what the process looks like overall. So without further ado, let's get into it. So before we actually delve into what the consulting process looks like at Cornell, I just wanted to give like a quick preview as to what exactly is consulting and, what's the difference between like consulting and IB, especially for people who are watching this video and have no idea what the fields look like and, which one should they choose, right? So consultants are essentially people who come in to completely analyze a firm. And they essentially offer improvements on how that firm can improve their strategy. They consult with people who are inside the firm internally and talk to them from top to bottom, sort of gather all of that data, all of those requirements that they need, and then develop a deck about how they can improve their corporate strategy. In terms of hours, if we're comparing it to IB, most people in IB work anywhere from about 80 to 100 hours. People in consulting tend to work slightly less. The work-life balance tends to be a bit better, which is about 60 to 80 hours, but they tend to cover up those like extra hours that they get as free in terms of travel. They do travel a lot. It can either be, bigger firms can either have you travel all the time to different client locations, or there can be some smaller firms that don't require you to travel at all, and they tend to be more virtual because they want to cut back on costs. So in terms of the firms that recruit on campus, you have the big three, which is McKinsey, Bain, and BCG. You also have smaller firms as well. You have ZS Associates, which is a more technology, healthcare-based firm. You have E&Y, Ernst & Young, E&Y, Parthenon. So when we're talking about myself specifically, I got the chance to sort of have a super day with EY Parthenon before I came to my MBA. So I got a chance to sort of learn how to recruit for consulting recruiting. And I guess I'll sort of discuss that, like what the pros and cons of the consulting recruiting was like for me. But when we're talking about consulting overall, I would say that it's sort of like an advisory role where many of the firms come in, many of the consultants come in, and they sort of offer advice to firms about how they can improve this corporate strategy and sort of gather that data requirements. With regards to what my experience was like recruiting for consulting at Cornell, now I didn't do the full-fledged recruiting that a lot of my peers did here at Cornell, like after investment banking. A couple of them chose Plan B as recruitment path for consulting, but I only did pre-MBA casing before I was going to go for my EY Parthenon super day. So that was sort of what my experience was like. So at Cornell, when we're doing the consulting process, they basically give you something called as a Spark notebook, where essentially you have to sort of really delve into deeper subjects about yourself and sort of answer all of those questions before you come onto campus. After that, you join the consulting club, and they tend to pair you up with a buddy that can help you case and sort of help you practice for the consulting interview. So when you're inside of a consulting interview, the main two things that are asked is, the first one is like a very lengthy case. So they'll ask you, so-and-so company is doing this. This is what are the things that they're trying to, like, what are the struggles that they're trying to face, and then how you can improve upon those. And you sort of have to come up with questions on the spot, what does the data point look like? What is this process capacity for this particular process? Like you basically have to come up with those questions on your own, and then the interviewer will essentially provide you that information, and then you come up with more questions and you sort of organize them into buckets and make sure to make all of the data that the interviewer provides you with into like a concrete framework. And this is like, I would say that this whole process is essentially a combination of both being a very creative person and also having a lot of practice doing casing. I think that a lot of people who were a part of the consulting process, they may not be the most creative or the most mathematical, but they did practice a lot of cases, and that helped them a lot when they actually went for the different interviews for consulting. So I think that one of the reasons why I sort of opted out of not going down the consulting route was mainly because I feel like I wasn't that creative enough. I have an engineering background. I've worked as a data analyst. I tend to be very technical and quant focused as well. I felt like I was more in line with the stream when it came to investment banking, as opposed to consulting, which tends to be quite creative and tends to be, coming up with strategies on the spot, which was something that I had a tough time figuring that out. So for anybody who's sort of looking towards whether they should pick consulting or investment banking, I would sort of take it in the sense of, because I was actually on the fence about this before I came to Cornell. I couldn't I had no real experience about the fields, and I was sort of in between deciding whether I should go for consulting or whether I should go for investment banking. So if you're also in the same boat and you're watching this video, the main things that I would say would be that even though for consulting, I feel like the work-life balance might be a bit better, I feel like one of the main things that you have to decide is whether you're more of like a creative-based person or whether you're more of a technical-focused kind of person. So that will help you sort of grapple with the idea of whether you want to go for consulting or whether you want to go for investment banking. In terms of the hours here, when it comes to consulting versus investment banking, I would say that the hours tend to be pretty much similar. Even though consultants only work about 60 to 80 hours, if you're also considering the travel time that they take, a lot of those hours that investment bankers would be working at their desks, you would be traveling during those hours. So I don't think that you should solely decide on whether or not you should do consulting or investment banking based off of hours. I think you should just take a long, hard look at whether or not you're capable of doing the job yourself, whether or not you're creative enough to think of solutions, and whether or not you're sort of interested in that sphere. Like, are you more interested when it comes to developing strategies for different firms, or are you more interested in trying to calculate valuations for different firms? Oh my god, my voice is literally dying. But basically, that's something that should sort of guide you when you're going along this path and when you're trying to understand whether this is the career path for you. I definitely think that there's a difference when it comes to business-focused careers as opposed to careers that are more in the tech stream. So I've been transitioning from like a tech sector-based career, which is basically building dashboards, calculating valuations, that sort of stuff. But when you're going to a more business-focused career, they tend to be a little bit more vague. And I felt that way about consulting. I felt that consulting tended to be a bit more vague. There weren't like very structured qualifications as to what needed to be, somebody who would be successful in this career. So I mean, if you feel that you're more creative, you can handle more vague sort of business requirements and sort of develop a framework out of vagueness, I would say that consulting would be a better choice. But if you need more concrete concrete data points, you're more analytical, you're more mathematical, you're more technical, I would try to focus on investment banking, because I feel like at the end of the day, the hours tend to be the same. In terms of the recruiting process here at Cornell, like I mentioned, first of all, you have, you basically apply for interviews when you're towards December, where basically you'll be applying to these firms via the Cornell's job application portal, and you'll also be casing either with second years, or the consulting club provides you with a casing partner that can help you really practice casing one-on-one. So if that's, you know, more your speed, then definitely check out the consulting club. Definitely check out what's going on at Cornell when you're talking about consulting recruitment. But that's basically what they went through. That's what the whole process looks like. And I think that's all I can say. I didn't have a lot of experience consulting, but a lot of my friends did. So all of this information is pretty much coming in from them and what I've seen firsthand. If you guys have any more questions, you know, please shoot me, you know, please write something down in the comments below and I will try to answer them. I'll try to also gather some information about the Cornell Tech Campus. I know it's huge and a lot of people seem to be interested in the Tech MBA sector. If there's any other questions that you'd like me to answer, please send me a message on LinkedIn. I will try to answer those questions. If you want to talk to me more one-on-one, you can also book a session using my Calendly, and I can sort of chat with you on that. And you know, if you have anything else that you'd like to discuss, of course, please shoot me an email at my email address as well. But other than that, this is a very short video, so thank you so much for watching. Thanks for watching this video, and thanks for watching all of my other previous videos. I love being able to help out people and really get a chance to interact with you guys. It's always great. So thanks so much. I'll see you. Bye.